Hello 9RBU. Well, hopefully you got on okay with yesterday's lesson. And now I've got another one that we're going to be doing today is to do with very similar stuff. There's some worksheets that you can download off the internet that look like this. There's 4 pages of it. I'm going to work through 2 pages of it today with you. And if you have time to do some of the other questions, that's great. Now, if you can't print off any of the stuff, then don't worry, you can just write it out on a piece of paper if that works better for you. Okay, well I hope it goes well and you sort of find this enjoyable. What we're doing today is a thing called frequency trees, which is a different way of organizing logical information that we did yesterday with the two-way tables. This is just another way you can solve the same problems. Right, so here's question 1. Pause it and jot it down and see if you can fill the stuff in before I've explained it to you. But what it's saying is 30 people took a literacy test and a numeracy test. So all 30 did both things. 23 of the people passed the literacy test. So I can say that this 23 is passed here. There's nowhere that I can I put, yes, I can put the 30 goes here, can't I? Because that's before they've taken the test. So if 23 have passed and 30 people have taken the test, I know that 7 must have failed. Now at this point up here, this is just looking at the 23 who passed the literacy test, and they're telling us that 21 of them also passed the numeracy test. That means 2 of them must have failed, because 21 plus 2 makes 23. And down at the bottom here, they've told us that of those that failed, the 7 that failed, 3 also failed the numeracy test. But that means that most of them, 4 of them, must have passed the numeracy test. And then finally, we've got one question to see if we really understand what's going on with this table. It says, write down the number of people that passed the numeracy test. Well, passing the numeracy test, we have 21 up here, but we also have 4 there, so we need to add those together. So 21 plus 4 is 25 people passed the numeracy test all together. And that's question 1 sorted. Right, so here's question 2. Slightly less information inside the frequency tree. Frequency just means how many we've got, so it's how many we've got of each thing goes along the tree, going from there and branching out. So have a go at that, pause the video, and then see if you agree with me. So I know we've got 58 people who are male altogether. Well, we're splitting between male and female there, so that 58 will go just there. We've already used the 120. 35 of the females preferred tea. So these are all females here. Those that preferred tea are there. There's going to be more than 35 females, because some of them are going to prefer coffee. 65 of the people preferred coffee. Well, that's going to be in both of those. So the only one we can fill in now is female. So we need to think, right, 120 take 58. So if I went from 58 up to 60, that's 2. Up to 100 is 40. Up to 120 is another 20. 40 plus 20 is 60. Plus 2 is 62 females altogether. Now I've got 35 females liking tea, so 35 plus 5 gets to 40, plus 20 gets to 60, and another 2 to 62. So 22 plus 5 is 27, I make that. Now, how are we going to get this last bit up here? 65 of the people preferred coffee. Well, we already know, we've just worked out that 27 females preferred coffee. So what do we need to add to 27 to get to 65? Well, we need to add on another 3 to 30, another 30 to 60, and another 5 to 65. So that's 30 plus 3 is 33 plus 5 is 38. That means 38 males must prefer coffee, so that those two numbers there add up to make 65. And then what do we have for tea? Well, 38 plus 20 makes 58, so that must be 20 there. And then we've just got one little question to answer down here. One of the 120 people is chosen at random. Write down the probability that this person is female and preferred tea. So we've got 120 people it's being chosen from. So the bottom of my fraction is 120. And females who like tea is that one there, isn't it? So there's 35 of those. So 35 chances out of 120 altogether. At this point, we're going to move on. I'm not going to do 3 or 4, but if you would like to do either 3 or 4 and maybe take a picture of that and upload it onto class charts, that would be really, really impressive. We're going to do question 5 together now, and then 6. We'll cover 6 up. So pause the video and have a crack at number 5. We've got 80 liking football, 47 of these people were men, the rest were women. Well, 47 plus 33 is 80, so that must be 33 there. 7 of the men do not like football. Most men liking football, like me, so that's 40 there. 65 of the 80 people liked football, so 40 plus 25 is 65, so that's the men. The women being just 25 liking football. That's still most of them though. So we have got left over here 25 plus 5 is 30 plus another 3 makes 33, so it must be 8 women not liking football. So a slightly higher proportion of women not liking football, which sounds about right in my experience. One of the people who do not like football is chosen at random. Write down the probability that this is a man. Now this isn't going to be having 80 as our bottom thing, because it's one of the people who do not like football has been chosen at random. So not liking football, there's 15 of those, and 7 of them are men. So that's actually 7 out of 15. Right, the last question I'm going to go through with you for today. Oh, by the way, there is a 7th question, so if anyone managed to do that one, if you wanted to just upload one question to me that was going to really impress me, it would be question 7 if you managed to do that. But if you've already spent an hour just doing this, then don't worry. So it says 60 students studying at a language school. So that 60 should have gone in here. 2/3 of the boys study, 36 of the students are boys, so that 36 should be there. 2/3 of the boys study French, so we need 2/3 of 36. How do we split 36 into 2/3? You can do it with fractions, or you can do it with a fraction bar, if you like. We've got 36 altogether. So if I divide 36 by 3, or go through my 3 times table, I get 12 3s making 36. So if I want 2/3, 2/3 is going to be that many, which is 2 12s, which are 24. So 24 of the boys studying French, which means the 12 left over must study German. 40 students study French altogether. Well, we know 24 boys, so the rest of the 40 must be girls, and 24 plus 16 makes 40. Now, how do we know how many girls? Well, if there are 36 boys, if it was equal, it would be 30 and 30, wouldn't it? But we've got 6 more boys than that, so there's going to be 6 less than 30, 24 girls. And now these two numbers need to add up to make 24, don't they? And 16 add 8 makes 24. And there's no follow-up question on that one. That is all of it. Okay, well, I hope you found that all right, and I look forward to seeing what you've managed to do for me. Okay, cheerio, folks, and I will be seeing you next week, because it's the last lesson of the week, isn't it? Okay, cheerio.